All right, so last week we made a script called report Azure get resource data. What this did was it collected information on all the resources in my tenant, and then it uploaded that data as a blob Excel document into storage account. What I want to do this week is take this file and upload it to GitHub and have it show here. So what we're going to do is let's quickly open it. I'm just going to open it in Portal. Essentially, I don't want to work like this like we did last week. I want to work in Visual Studio Code. So what I'll do is I'll open my Visual Studio Code, and the file that we made initially called script1, just replace the code there with this. And let's give it the same name as the file itself, that we have a local copy. Another thing is, because now I'm going to be using this both locally as myself when I'm using it in Visual Studio Code, and then when I upload it into Azure Automation account, I want it to work with managed identities. I'm going to modify this because if I try doing this, it won't work because my computer is my laptop and it is not a device that's on Azure. So anytime I try to connect as a managed identity, it's just going to fail. So let's just make a little bit of changes here so that anytime we make a new script, we just copy this part and paste it, and it will work both on Visual Studio Code and it will work on Automation account. So what we do is when we're working locally, I want you to sign in to Connect AZ account yourself. And if that's the case and you're signed in, I don't want you to try doing this. So what we can add here is like that. Okay, so what this is doing now is saying try to connect, but only try to connect if somebody isn't already signed in. If something is already signed in, just give that as an output and then move forward. Otherwise, let's just fail. So now if I run this, the first thing I should do is connect AZ account. And now if I try to use this, it should go here. And it says right there, using existing Azure connection, which is my account. So anytime we run this script going forward, the whole thing, it's going to skip the sign in process because I'm already signed in. While we're here, let's just try this too, to make sure that our AuthN works when it is in managed identity, when it is going to be a managed identity, by just pasting the code that we had there. Okay, I'm going to delete this anyways. I just want to run this to show you what happens when we run it. And there you have it, connected as the managed identity of the automation account. If we go back to our code, that was this output. So that means it went into here and connected, and then it gave us this output. Now, the nice thing about this is that we don't have to just connect in as ourselves like I did. If you have a service principal or a app registration, you can use that to sign in and then run this part, and it will just skip it, right? So whatever it is you want to sign in as locally to do your tests and runs, you can do that from this point on. Just make sure to do that manually first. And then once you're signed in, you should be able to run your code. Okay, so this is pretty much ready, like, because we already made this script and got it running last episode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here to our Runbooks, and I'm actually going to delete this file because we do not need this. Our goal is to use GitHub. Whenever we upload our scripts to the main branch in GitHub, it's going to automatically populate it here. So ideally, we should not be making anything manually in automation going forward from this point on. So I'm just going to delete this, and we'll have a copy of that locally on our computer, and we'll start working on GitHub and getting it configured, and then we'll try to push this into GitHub and have it show up in an automation account. Okay, so back to our browser. First thing you want to do is, if you don't have GitHub or have Git on your computer, let's start with that. So the very first thing you want to install is something called Git. This gives you version control capabilities locally on your computer. It has nothing to do with GitHub. You can use this with other version control systems like Bitbucket, Azure DevOps, etc., etc. I'm just going to download this. Let's just go through that process and quickly get this installed. And the installation is pretty straightforward. Just hit next. Okay, it's done. Now there are some apps on your computer you may notice after you install it. Type the word Git, you'll see all this. Ignore that. Our only goal is to use it with Visual Studio Code. So whatever apps is installed, we don't care. So once that's done, second thing is having a GitHub account. If you don't have one, create one. Once you've created it, you will basically be allowed to create stuff inside it. Once you have a GitHub account, what we want to do is build a new repository. And the main branch of this is what's going to integrate to automation account. You can either click this icon or you can press this plus and press new repository. And then give it in the next page, give it a repository name. We'll say automation account. And say choose visibility. This is the critical thing. Make sure you set it to private. And then if you want to add a README, say sure. I don't need a git ignore. If I was using Terraform, definitely wouldn't want to use that. Licenses don't need it. And then we just hit create repository. And there it is, our repository. Now what we want is to have this show up in our Visual Studio Code. And then whatever files we put into this repository and push up will show up here. Right now we haven't integrated with automation account. We'll do that after. So let's go back to our Visual Studio Code. Now I made a folder called VSC. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a couple folders here. First one I'll call local. The second one I'll call GitHub. Just so I know anything I put in this folder is like something I'm just working with locally, right? And I'll take all the files that I already worked with from last few episodes and put it in the local folder. And then what I'll do from this is anything I want to integrate with our GitHub, I'll add it here. So all our repositories will show up in the GitHub folder. Oh, by the way, just to confirm that you have Git installed, type git help. It should give you the commands. It didn't. So what we'll do is, if that's the case, you may have to close Visual Studio Code and open it again. Okay, so it wasn't just restarting Visual Studio Code. I had to reboot the computer. So just be mindful of that. Basically, this gives us the ability to run Git commands. So in our case, I just ran the help command to see if anything would show up, meaning the commands are working. Okay, let's move forward. And what we want to do is we want to clone our repository that we have here. We made this automation account repository. It has a README file. So that will be our test to see if the README file shows up on a computer that we're able to successfully pull data from GitHub. Before we do that, let's just set up our account. Say git config global user.name, say config global user.name or user.email, and then we'll type in our email here. This just means that whenever we do commits and make changes, our teammates can see that this person did those modifications and so on. Okay, now that we have set up our account, what I want to do is I want to access this folder. So I'll do cd GitHub. So that's where I am right now. And this is where we're going to put our repository. And the command for that is git clone. What we'll do is we'll go back to our repository. I'll press this code button here, copy URL to clipboard. So this will give us this URL that's right here. What we want to do is put in quotes and in the front type git clone. So I'll hit enter and it will say cloning to automation account. I had to sign in as my GitHub account because it's a private repository. Nobody can just access this now. Only people that have been granted access in GitHub are able to access this repository. So because that is done, if I open this folder now, you'll see that automation account, which is our repository's name, is there. And all the files inside it, which in our case is just the README file, which is also here. Now, if you wanted to upload a file to GitHub, it's pretty straightforward. But we want to be in the repository because whatever we add here now will be something we can push to GitHub, which is going to be our goal. Let's just try a random file. Let's just make one. We'll just do write output. There, hello world from GitHub. We'll say out file at hello world.ps1. This will create the file hello world in automation account. And you can see it turned green. And you can see this is source control showing up here. We'll talk about this section shortly. So I have this file and I want to upload it to GitHub. So what we do is we first stage it. So we'll just do git add. Again, I'm not going to go deep into GitHub. Plenty of courses out there for that. I'm just going to show you how to integrate it with automation account. This just means stage all. And then we'll do a git commit -m for a message. Say uploaded our first file. This modification has been committed. We still need to push it now to GitHub. So we'll do git push main, meaning which branch do we want to push it to? I'm pushing it to main. There's that. We go back to our GitHub, hit refresh. We'll see our file hello world. We open it and we can see our hello world from GitHub. Okay, so that's how you upload a file. Now we want to integrate GitHub to automation account so that whatever modifications we make, anything we add here, that's a PowerShell script, will show up in automation account. So let's go back to our automation account itself. We'll scroll down under account settings and press source control. And then in here, you'll see an option called source control and sync jobs. Under source control, just hit add, and then it will let you give it a name. So what we can say is whatever you want to call it. Second section is to select what kind of source control it is. You only have GitHub and Azure DevOps as your options. And then once you select that, it will give you the option to authenticate. So let's do that. I had a pop-up show up and I signed into GitHub, so it should be good to go now. And then I can select my repositories. The one we created was called automation account, so I'll select that. It will give me an option to even select the branch. We only have main. And then folder path we can ignore. Auto sync, let's turn that on. What that basically means is anytime you have a commit occur on GitHub, it's going to automatically start to sync to automation account to make the changes here as well. And then we'll hit save. Now, the first time you set it up, you may have to hit start sync because again, auto sync only works when commits are made. So if you just wanted to sync what is already there, you just press start sync. Then we wait. If you want details on how the sync is going, you press sync jobs and you'll have the option to select your source control, and then you'll see what the statuses are for all the history of all the sync statuses that occurred in the past. But we just created it, so we just have a new one called queued. And there you have it. I'll give you some data on what it did. It authenticated to the source control and what files it changed and all that. That's all logs to get all the data about how it did what. There's errors that will show up here. Okay, let's go back to our runbook and see what's there. And there it is. Hello world. Now you may notice that when we were in automation in our repository, we also had a README file. That's not going to be added here. Nor are if you created a folder and put files in there. You need to have it at the top level and a list of PowerShell scripts. Anything else will not automatically show up as a runbook here. It only accepts PowerShell or Python. Now, the nice thing about this is if I go here and I delete it, this doesn't delete my code because my code is actually here. So this is where if it gets deleted is a problem. But the nice thing about GitHub is you can always revert things back to previous states and all that, right? So if I have another commit that occurred here, let's just quickly edit this to show you. So if I put this in quotes, commit changes, even though we have nothing here, in the next sync, it will come back. Going back to our sync jobs under source control, you can see the second task is queued. This time it's incremental instead of full. May take a few minutes before it's done, so let's just skip ahead. Okay, it's completed. Let's go back to our runbooks and look at that. Hello world is back, this time with the quotes. Going back to our code, this is our actual script. I'm going to put this in the same folder, so I'll just copy it. Okay, now that we copied it over, you'll see on this section here, it says source control with the 1. That means there's one change that we can make as of right now. So if I click this, you see this is a visual version of seeing how GitHub is working. It has noticed that there is a file that has been added to our folder, and we can stage it and commit it from here rather than doing it from the terminal like we did earlier. So instead of doing git add, on this file, I can press this plus icon and it's staged. And if I want to do a commit, I can basically write a message here. So instead of typing git commit and then the comment, I can just write the comment here, uploaded our PowerShell script to this. To the stage, I can just hit commit. And the next option is to sync changes, which is equivalent of that git push that we did. And then it will tell you this will do push and pull at the same time. And it will show you how it's doing the merge or as a timeline as well, which is nice to see. Now, if we go back to our GitHub, go to our repo, we'll see that the file is there. And if we want to modify this file, let's say we wanted to write a sentence here, test. Now that that change is made, anytime you make a modification, it will show up here. If I actually click this file, it will show you, this is what it was, this is what you've added. So it's one of the neat features of, okay, what did I just do? I need to go back. It's like, okay, here's what I changed. It's a nice way to visually learn Git if you're not too familiar with it. And once you're more comfortable, you can start diving more into the code perspective and basically do the same thing. So yeah, our file has been uploaded. We go back to our automation account. Go to Runbooks. We'll just have to wait until it shows up here because it's going to start syncing now because a commit has been made. And I'll come back when that's done. All right, and there it is. Our file's there, and our hello world just got deleted. One thing I want to point out is when we created Runbook, we basically set a runtime environment. By default, it doesn't let you pick as of right now which runtime environment your Runbooks will be when they get added in from GitHub. It'd be really nice that when you were setting it up here, there's an option which runtime environment to set. Maybe that's something that'll show up in the future. But as of right now, just be mindful that this will set it to 5.1. But if you want to set it to the one that we created in our previous videos, you'll have to do it manually. Maybe we'll make a script to automatically change that whenever a new file shows up with this version. But as of right now, that is source control being leveraged in automation account so that now we don't interact with Runbooks directly. We interacted through GitHub instead. And whatever changes we upload to GitHub on the main branch will automatically show up as Runbooks in automation account. Thank you for watching. I hope this was insightful. Have a wonderful day.